know what's about to happen. I can sense that everyone watching or listening to me right now will not believe a word I am about to say, but regardless of this fact, I must say it anyway because the new Roblox update we are discussing is surprisingly a great thing and a step in the right direction for Roblox once again. Perhaps this is a little bit confusing considering I'm implying that it's so bad it's genuinely causing me to feel raised levels of fear within my being, and now I'm trying to make you believe that I like the update itself. But please stay with me on this one because all will be explained throughout the video. It's also a different type of fear than you may be expecting because let's use the game Phasmaphobia for example. Phasmaphobia is a 4-player online co-op psychological horror game that was released on Steam around 1 month ago, and it's basically a ghost hunting game, but listen to me carefully when I say this because absolutely nothing horror related scares me. Like, I will play the scariest game out there or watch the scariest movie in the world at 3 AM in the dark and I wouldn't even slightly be fazed, but Phasmaphobia is on a whole different level. Never have I ever felt so much fear whilst playing that game alone. However, I bring this game up and my immense terror levels directed towards the game purely because it feels like I got scared of this new Roblox update in a completely different way. Exciting news, developers, skinned mesh parts are now live in Roblox Studio. You see, this is why I said it's a really good update, and the fact that it scared me slightly doesn't lower how important this step for Roblox is, not even a little bit. But I would like to show you the attached GIF that got included in the announcement of this update because I may have just realised I like to talk a lot, and so here it is. This is the exact GIF that scared me, and I don't know which part about what I'm seeing causes me to feel this fear, but maybe some of you guys can figure it out by looking at it yourselves. Hello there, please make sure to leave a like on this video and you'll become my favourite person in the whole entire world. And of course, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already because just take a look at how close we are to 280,000 subscribers. So it's quite evident that the creature that's moving in the GIF is supposed to represent Kermit the Frog, or at least it's some kind of frog, but why on earth did they see it as necessary to have him turn around so ominously? Don't even get me started at the way his mouth just stretches open and extends upwards like that before finally he just turns towards us and stares directly into the camera. I honestly can't even deal with this. If you could physically buy nightmare fuel from a supermarket, this is exactly what would be sitting on those shelves. But I suppose that's enough about me and my newfound fear of the Roblox version of Kermit the Frog somehow possessing unrealistic stretching abilities. Let's talk about why this update is more towards the positive side of things. We are pleased to announce the introduction of skinned mesh parts. Previously, the appearance of characters and objects were represented by rigid parts. Now the surface of those parts can be continuous, making the mesh smoother and more realistic looking. When they say mesh, they don't mean how the texture looks or how smooth that is or anything like that, because the mesh of an item is quite literally just the model itself and nothing more than that. Yes, they absolutely did choose to showcase and represent this entire update with one GIF of that terrifying little Kermit the Frog extending and opening his mouth upwards, but I think we can just about forgive them for that when we see how good the update will end up being for Roblox developers. The avatar on the right is a traditional rigid R15 model. The avatar on the left is made up of 15 skinned mesh parts in the exact same R15 configuration. I'll admit that it did take me a good second or two, but eventually you do start to notice the differences, and when you do, they are beyond insane, and sometimes it's the smallest, most unnoticeable differences that make the biggest differences. Notice how there are no gaps at the elbows, shoulders and knees. Also notice how there is no longer intersection between the lower torso and the legs. Exactly, these are all things that I never would have picked up on prior to the release of this update. I never realised just how bad the old avatar was because look at all the rough edges that it has and the gaps that they just mentioned. I know a lot of people don't tend to absolutely love Rthro, and so you've probably crawled into the tightest ball possible, but I ask that you simply just give this a chance, because first of all, you are literally going to lose absolutely nothing from just attempting to genuinely like it, and also, I don't see not liking Rthro as a valid excuse to downplay the efforts and the importance that this update brings with it. Take a look at this short video they included in the announcement post, because this was uploaded by a developer with the intention of it to showcase the update applied to water, and I am pleased to say that this is far less scary than that disgusting frog creature, but look at how insane this looks compared to what water on Roblox was like before, and especially compared to what it was like upon its first introduction to the platform. Skinned mesh parts can also make for some interesting squash and stretch animations. No, don't even call this interesting. This is the explanation that they added alongside the Kermit the Frog video. That thing is anything but interesting, downright terrifying, and nothing less. Still seems like a little bit under exaggerated, but at least we're on the right path. Currently, only the avatar importer will import skinned meshes. If there is a skinning data with the mesh, the engine will import it. Listen, I'm not a developer, and I think that much is very obvious, so I don't even know where to start at least trying to understand what any of this technical stuff means. All I know, and all that's important for non-developers to know, is that previous Roblox avatars had rough edges and gaps in joints where gaps should not exist, and now with the new avatars, they are a lot smoother and nicer, and those gaps no longer exist. However, they did attach a screenshot along with all of those technical terms, and there is a new official button on Roblox Studio that's called Avatar Importer, and it brings up this box that tells you to choose the avatar type you are going to import. So for the current options that come with that, you get the choices of Rthro, Rthro Narrow, R15 and Custom, or in other words, you can choose normal avatars, Fat Rthro and Skinny Rthro. Bones can be animated by playing back an animation through an animator or humanoid, or directly through the instance's Lure API by changing bone transform. Once again, I couldn't even begin to guess what exactly this means, but I think we can all share a basic common idea, and so I just want to talk about how realistic Roblox is becoming and just how far the platform has come in every aspect possible. Compared to games we would have seen maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the games that we see today are absolutely insane, and taking those two comparisons honestly makes it feel like you are looking at two different games. One of the top replies on the announcement comes from Mousy, and she said, "I heard about this weeks ago and this looks really cool. Can't wait to see how they turn out in games." And this is exactly what my first thought was when seeing the update, because besides the terrifying frog creature staring into my soul, I'm most looking forward to seeing how developers actually take this update, make use of this update, and of course I'm so excited to see how much better this is going to make so many different games look. Literally everyone seems to be just as excited for this update as I am, and you have no idea how refreshing that is to see everyone living in harmony and collectively enjoying a Roblox update together. But anyway, what do you guys think of Roblox releasing a new incredible update, even if they did absolutely terrify me in the process? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.